And we're red. Red is on.
Okay, we'll open this meeting of June 2nd, 2016. Let the record show that Selectman Fogg and Selectman Scanlon are not present, but they are on their way. Make a motion that we bring the minutes of May 19th to the floor for discussion.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
All right. This is just a technicality, but under the 99 restaurant is Four Ghosts. Is that how you spell it?
That's how you spell forego.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
Gail, did you keep a copy for Joe of the tax deeding that we got on Tuesday night? The special meeting that we
The
had?
latest list.
The latest list. Okay.
I can copy this one.
Yeah. I just read it in the minutes, and I just want to make sure that he got a copy.
Thank you very much.
Pat, do you want this one? Is that weird?
I'm sure it's
I
gonna.
got one.
I'm
Yeah.
sure it'll change.
I'm going out probably Saturday. Make a motion, we accept the minutes as written.
Second.
Yes.
Yes. Make a motion, we bring to the floor May 26th for discussion.
Second.
All
Yes.
those in favor? Aye. It says we're in non-public?
Sign must be turned around. Well, we're not in non-publics.
Not taking public input tonight. Just tell them we're not taking public input tonight.
We really... No, we're not taking public input tonight at all. It's a very abbreviated meeting.
He's anxious. He was here the other day.
That all has to be in non-public.
Excuse me, on the last page, just above adjournment, where I'm talking about the sampling for Ernie's.
Yes.
My main question was, is the cost of the continued arsenic sampling, the biggest thing that, there's no more petroleum fund for the sampling.
Right.
So now we're going to have to pick up the cost. And what is that cost? And should we go out to bid or just have Kadiri do it?
Okay. And that's what Joyce was going to contact them about?
Right.
Okay.
So if we could just kind of clarify that. I mean, there is a question of what do we have to do to determine whether the arsenic is naturally occurring or not.
Okay.
All of those are associated with how much. Why is everything how much? How much?
Make a motion that we accept the minutes as corrected.
Second.
Yes.
All those in favor?
Yeah.
Aye. Joyce coming right back up. Was there a miscommunication?
Why?
Oh, we started at
We started at
4:15.
1 o'clock.
That's fine. Wait, what? 1 o'clock? So we'll be done at 5, sweet. I'll have my 4 hours in and I get home. Woohoo!
We started at 4:15
What? When did we change the time?
a couple days ago.
Oh. In case you weren't aware, some of us have a JOB.
But we were here Tuesday night. Some of us were here Tuesday night
What was Tuesday night?
when we discussed it.
And the guy who wasn't here was here on time, so I'm just saying,
You're here early anyways.
pretty much.
Was there an email?
I didn't know we were meeting at 4:15 until this afternoon, but I'm here.
It was in an email.
That's my problem. Peter,
Good God almighty.
32 ball field has been mowed recently.
Yeah, it was. I was by this.
Buffalo Park has not. I mean, there's not much to do there.
What, are you looking for a spot to run the X mark or what?
No, I was just wanting to see
I should say you get the engine just warm and it's done.
what was, yeah, really. Done.
Did you notice this, Catherine? 16.
I did.
That's so disappointing.
Well,
Not unexpected
I
necessarily.
was trying to figure out when he was done with us the last time.
3 years ago.
Okay, so he paid up and then never paid
Right.
again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Saved.
Now that is one frustrating. Look,
I just saved her.
you did.
You did.
Are you ready for me?
I am.
Oh. Say no more.
I did request a brief non-public on a legal matter.
Okay.
I sent an email to the board saying that the documents in the folder... You're not doing a personnel at all tonight, are you?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay.
All right.
Are we
Yeah,
going to have any police here?
at the public hearing we will.
Last week, or maybe it was a week before, we talked about June as evaluation month, and the board said that they liked the one that we had done.
Yeah.
So I emailed it to the board. And it's a Word document. It's not a Google Doc. This is a Word document, and you can fill it in. You can type in, and it
Good.
will move things. So, but I did give you each a soft copy, a hard copy. So if there is anything that you wanted,
is this adjusted for
all I did was put Town of Tilton.
because I've got one of these.
But in your email, not in the drive, is one that,
I've got the original.
the only question I have is, did you want to have the highway department use this form as well? Because I know the police have theirs.
Police are using this form as well. Everybody's using this form.
Okay. I thought they were using the CLIA ones. That's what they used last year. It was a
But they're
CLIA.
not clear certified yet.
Yeah.
No, but that will help them be certified if
Okay.
they're using the CLIA evaluation form.
But does that form, have we seen that form?
Yes.
Oh,
In fact, that's
The
what
one that
we,
they've been using.
it's the one that we modeled, the forms we used
we
last
did.
year after the CLIA form. And and they ended up going back and using the original highway form for the highway department. So admin staff had a modified CALIA form.
Gail, you said you put something in my folder, and I don't see it, with the valuations.
Here, I printed out a copy. Here, you can use this. Here.
Oh, okay. All right, so, does the board agree that we should go with the evaluation that we used on the, we're still looking at?
So this is the one
Right,
for the town hall, right?
right.
Yeah.
Town hall, do you want to use it for highway?
I don't see why we couldn't use it for highway.
Me either.
I'm thinking that
Because on the back,
very little adjustment, this would work for highway as well.
Well, on page 10, you have specialized performance criteria unique to this position slash profession. So maybe if we gave them a couple more boxes.
I think we need to spell it out.
That's frightening.
Sorry.
No, definitely spell it out. I don't disagree with your assessment, but it is a little
I
scary.
think on page 10, where it says specialized performance like highway, what it would be for, no, it would be applicable, because what we would do is single out for something like truck safety,
Couldn't we just explain what that means?
I don't know,
That allows the supervisor to
use discretion.
just come up with any criteria he wants.
Joyce being the liaison to that position, maybe she could
That's what I was explaining it to.
explain to them exactly what that, what you'd fill in those blanks with. What do you think, Joyce?
I think that's an excellent idea.
Do you
Okay?
think they'd be all right with this form?
I think they'll be all right with this form, because I like the way this form explains
Yes.
the scale better, and it's just a matter of fine-tuning certain job duties that they have to make sure that we've covered what their job duties are and how they're doing their job duties. So we can tailor it to page 10.
Seriously? Look at all this. Seriously? Okay. So you'll be doing the director? Hi, John. We're talking about the evaluation. We're going to use this form that we used for the attorney prosecutor. We're going to use that for highway as well, with putting a couple on page 10, some specialized.
Just you that way, doesn't it?
Specific to the job.
Technically.
So you'll be doing
There, unless
the director.
Yep.
that should be under
We
another.
can send an email out to department heads.
A little bit chronically late.
Do we want to set a deadline of,
Highway. I don't know, may or may not apply.
We're not meeting the 9th.
Of course, it doesn't talk about.
What date is
time.
July?
It says 10, I
It's
guess
the
you
first
could.
pay period in
parse the-
July, after July
That
1.
under explanation, I
Grab my
think.
calendar.
it's,
Does any increments would go into effect on that?
July 1 is a Friday. So the Wednesday after that is July 6th.
6, so if it goes into effect,
So if we say have them in by June 30th, that gives us no. If we say have them in by June 23rd, that gives us a week. That gives us 2 weeks to actually look them over and approve them. And then it goes into effect July 6th. It goes into effect July 1st, but it backtracks.
right, and which would be so as to not have to do all the retro pay. Because I'll be doing payroll those 2 weeks, so the sooner we can get them in and Tim can get them, that part entered into the system.
Okay, so can we ask them to have them ready for
June 23rd.
June 23rd? Okay. Cindy, you all set with that? You have one. Can I do yours?
I'll call people. It'll be on the list.
That was a very quick answer. Okay, so Johnny will take care of there. Last year I did the administrative assistant. Does anybody want to take charge of that, or do you want me to continue? Okay.
I would love to do the administrative assistant.
The other thing I'll do, on page 13, I'm going to add a place for the selectmen to sign that the selectmen have reviewed the evaluation.
Last year Joe Jessman did the health officer. Are you continuing to do that? Let's move
That
on.
would be yes.
Catherine,
Stand up if you want
did the
to.
town administrator last year. You want to continue with that?
Did I do you last year?
You did.
Sure.
Did.
Okay. I'd love you to do mine. Would you just do one for me?
I think
Please?
that would be good, though, to have the employees do one on the selectmen.
Would you ask the employees to do one on each of the selectmen? I would love to do that.
They can
I
do it
really
now.
would.
Not to sign it.
Don't sign it,
It can be
just do it.
anonymous.
I really want the input. But make sure that they put Pat on the top or Joe on the
I
top.
don't think I want to pay the employees to insult me.
Oh, I really would want input. I learned from
I
input.
used to have my employees evaluate my
All right.
performance.
Joyce, last year you did code enforcement. You're going to still do code enforcement? Mm-hmm. Okay. Joe, you did Tim last year. You're still going to do, so you're going to do Tim,
Sure.
Tim,
Template.
Catherine, and
Yeah. Yep.
Catherine, you did Dari last year. You're going to continue to do that?
Sure.
All right.
I'll have to look at his order
Oh.
to see what his golden expectation.
Joe, you did Heather. Do you want to give that up, or you want to do all four?
I
One,
did
two,
all
three,
four
four.
last. No, I did
No,
three
you
last
did three
time.
last year.
I don't mind. I'll get them done.
All four? All right.
I don't need to write this down.
Pat did the chief. I'll do the chief. Cindy does Kim. Right. So that, we're all set. So the only one changed is, sorry, Gail.
The two up top that one is Johnny Larry.
Johnny does Larry, and then
I'll do Johnny.
Joyce does Johnny. Evaluate, excuse me.
Uh-oh.
All right, so,
Okay.
I'm serious, I really would love feedback from the employees on us.
I would, too.
You would too, right?
Yeah.
Right? Catherine?
I may not pay attention to it.
Oh, I will. Be honest.
All right, this is for the non-public.
I don't know about the police, though. Let me think.
I just
No,
don't
I'm
want
fine
to
with
pay
that.
the employees to
You
evaluate.
can just do it. You'd be surprised what we pay them for, so let them just be honest with us.
Okay, the window awnings on the town hall, they were originally purchased in September of '98 at a cost of $3,492. December 7th of 2010, we got an estimate to replace them, and that estimate was $3,704. This includes installation. It's the same exact thing that we have now. And that estimate says, how much?
$4,200.
$4,200. So since 2010, it really hasn't gone up that much.
Nope.
Now, are we sticking with the same pattern, or are we doing a salary?
25%.
Identical. identical to what we have now.
With the stripes? Mm-hmm. We're going to go with the stripes?
Yeah.
Thought we said we wanted to go with
No,
the...
we went back, I know, we did.
Because they
We went
changed
round
it.
and then went back.
We went
I
back.
really like that solid green one you had. Where is it?
This is if we do the ramp. That's a different material. That's the weather tight.
Wow, that's a lot of green. That's the one that only has an 8-year warranty instead of 10. How long did we stretch ours out for?
30.
It says 10 on this.
Well, that's
Yes,
that's
for
the
Look
different
at the
stuff?
awning, it
No,
says
it's the same
8-year
stuff.
manufacturer's
No.
warranty.
this
We
is
stretched ours out to 30. How many years?
98.
1998, so
Better part of 20 years, 18 years.
Here, my son was born.
double our money.
Where have I been?
But now the awning over the ramp, that's been going on since 2007. And then it resurrected again in 2010, and I resurrected it again for this year, but the quote she sent me was the wrong one. She had a shed awning, the one that goes...
Oh, I want to see that, though. I want to see it. This is very
And
pretty.
I said, that's fine. I mean, this is the kind that it comes from...
Look at that, right over the whole ramp.
So she's...
Sidewalk and everything.
Well, she's going to speak to Peter and see if he can do it so that the
Artists around the cold.
posts are on the ramp, not on the sidewalk. And then what I had originally requested, and this is what I had originally requested, was just doing
Right here.
just over the top of the step. So she's going to give me the correct quote on this. She was going from an
This is what
old
she actually
quote from
wanted to
2010.
quote.
May
And
we
that's
see?
the one they want $3,200 for.
No, no.
see that.
34 is the one that
So
covers
how much was that?
No.
How
The
much
30,
w-
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. How much was the shed one?
32 or 34.
No, the original one that I thought, which was that one,
Yeah.
and I looked at it, I said, I didn't say rounded arch. I wanted just at the top of the steps was 3,200,
Okay.
because they do these posts
Yeah.
So
and the weather-tight fabric.
why just over the top of the stairs? If we feel it's necessary on that side, why just the top of the stairs?
Well, we're going to have both to look at. The reason was to protect the person standing, unlocking the door, because they're not in motion. They're standing there of getting plooped on the head.
But somebody in a wheelchair coming up that ramp is...
I really love this.
Yeah, well, that protects the entire ramp. So what she's going to do is to see if those posts can be on the ramp and not in the sidewalk.
Well, the rendering shows that it's in the sidewalk, but if it goes on just on the outside of the ramp, they still can get the,
You can
Yes.
get brackets to put it on.
you could, yeah,
Well, why
on
do
the
we have to cover
sidewalk.
any of the ramp? It's only there in the summertime.
No, it's going to go
It'd be year-round.
year-round, and it will
This
cut...
year-round?
It'll cut from,
Ice and stuff sliding off the
That'll
roof?
be destroyed in
That-
one winter.
No, because they can put, that was the other thing I asked her, because the original one that we had back in 2007 they put a piece of galvanized metal between the fabric and the,
if we went with something like this over the whole ramp,
we'd be minus
we'd be
two
-2 of the windows,
two
correct?
windows. Mhm.
Okay. So that would take off the price of the 4,200, and it could add on. So then how would we figure out?
Was that the $200 savings they were talking about or not?
We
No,
go with
The discount.
that was just a discount to do.
So you get a discount, but they didn't discount it for the 2 windows that were taken out if we go with that?
They haven't
No,
figured that out yet.
because
Okay, the second price we got is for what? We got a price for the windows, and then we got something for this door.
You had $3,200 total for the door.
What is that?
No, the original one we received for one rounded arch entrance awning was $3,200.
Which we don't want a rounded arch.
Don't want a rounded arch.
Well, I
Is that-
wouldn't do it for $3,200 anyway, so I'd be,
Well,
It's a different
because right
fabric and it
next,
has a
you're going to
frame.
have a rounded arch here, and then you're going to have straight.
So we're waiting on a price to cover the whole ramp.
I don't see why we're
the
covering
shed,
it at
tent,
all,
whatever you want to call it.
quite frankly.
Yeah, we're waiting for a
Okay.
price on that.
Okay.
Well, to see if they can do it with the posts up on the ramp.
For the whole thing?
All right,
You just bolt it to the ramp.
I believe that, ask them if they can bolt it right to the ramp, because
did.
this is
Create a
cast
bracket.
iron. Can they do that or no?
You create a
I asked her,
bracket.
Peter, the guy who does
Yeah.
it, he wasn't in the shop, he was on the road.
Okay.
So she was going to get back to me on that and with the price. And I also said, oh, if we do that and leave it year-round, that means 2 fewer awnings. And she said, yes, that's correct.
So then there would be a savings on the $4,200 one.
Yeah,
Quote.
because that's for 9.
If we
Right.
did both of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Both the, well,
I think this is a terrific idea, and then we have a lot of handicapped people coming in. They come in through the ramp, and this is all going to be, and not just, this is also going to save on the sun coming through this window.
but the regular awnings, it's exactly what we have now. And they're going to reuse the frames that we have.
None of our frames are bent or damaged?
I went through them, they seem fine.
Nice.
I mean, they'll check them when they put them up. They install them. Installation included. I think that's a great price, $3,200.
I think, no, $4,200.
For the
Oh,
awning?
I'm sorry, you're right.
$4,200
looking at the
for the
revenue, yeah.
awning. So the question would be, I would say, I would like to do the awnings. The question would be, does the board want to do, well, I probably should ask the board if they want to do the awnings too. I think that would be the proper thing to do.
Start with the small one. Start with the easy one.
Why don't we wait till we get the price on the other one?
On the other.
On the shed roof that we're putting over here.
Shit. I can tell you, no matter what, I'm going to say no to any type of thing covering that ramp, because when they get off the ramp, they're still going to have to go to their parking spaces. It's going to get destroyed by wind and snow, and we're going to be pulling that ramp up to do the sidewalk, what, this year, next year?
Soon.
So we could wait to do that.
Sure.
Or get the price on just covering the door part.
If you're just worried about ice and snow coming off the roof, you could
Put
just
the guards
build a
on the
hip
roof.
Yeah, just we'll divert it. Top.
It may be
So if
appropriate
you
to
take
build
two
a
of those-
solid one.
Oh, and we got
Windows
estimates on that?
away,
Remember, we had a hard
that's
time even getting estimates on
About
that.
$3,300.
I'm-
not $4,200.
John is just spouting what I've been spouting for years. I don't see the need.
Okay.
After
And it
100
was-
and some odd years.
And it was $3,200 for the shed.
What?
Yeah.
So if you take the other $1,100
What, the back door?
for the two that you're
Go in
going
the
to
front
save,
door.
Well, this
Now
was,
it's
this is,
2,000.
Maybe, I think,
That's what we're
if any,
gonna save
what
for
we
those
should
two
do is look at
windows
putting in
from the
a
4,200.
thing that goes out
almost
that's
Yeah,
$1,000.
above
466 per
maybe
window,
with the fake slate
which seems
shingles.
awfully spendy to me.
Yeah, or
$466 a window?
If you divide it by 9, it's
yeah,
about
no.
$466.
$466 per window for a piece of cut canvas. It
Diverters.
seems a little spendy.
Yeah, you
But
don't
if you
want to
get
be...
20 years, if you get 20 years out of it,
Yeah.
how much per year?
$23.17.
I mean, this is what we ran into the last 2 times we tried to do this. I think the important thing now is that we need to get the awnings up, because it takes 4 to 6 weeks to make. She said she'll
Well, who
rush
unlocks
this.
the
This is
door?
their busiest time
By
of
the
year.
Make a motion, we buy the awnings for the windows
What does that mean?
for $4,200.
second.
So, okay, I'll second it for the purpose of discussion.
discussion.
But if we buy all 9, we're committed to buying the 2 that we wouldn't need if we had the building over the ramp. So,
That was my intent of the ramp. That was my intent of the motion, because we're going to be taking up the ramp to do the sidewalk anyway. Why don't we wait till that year to do it?
And also, we may not have the votes to do the ramp.
Isn't,
I mean, do the shed roof over the entire ramp.
you might not. That's entirely
So,
possible.
and this is why
My-
it gets held up every year.
My opinion is that we should have something outside that door that's solid, that ice could hit and not damage it, and protect Cindy.
Use the front door.
I saw Jane get whacked one day.
If it's,
I got whacked, you guys thought it was funny, was your
Yeah,
pain?
I still do.
yeah,
Use the
but,
front door.
Did you look who was standing on the roof?
excuse me, but it's all about Cindy.
Okay.
Remember that. You're welcome. All right, so there's a motion on the floor here for $4,200 for the awnings to order them so we can get them in for the summer.
Isn't the sidewalk being done this year?
I don't know,
In theory.
depends, in
I
theory.
thought that was one of the
That
sidewalk.
was our intent.
That was our intent.
So spending 900 and some odd dollars for 2 windows that we're going to cover up in 3 months doesn't make sense to me.
I'm not covering them up in 3 months. What are you talking about? Not that
You were
those aren't the
talking
ones
about
who-
putting an awning on the ramp when we did the sidewalk. In theory, we're doing the sidewalk this year. So if we now buy 9 window coverings and only 2 of those window coverings aren't going to be actually in use, isn't that a waste of over $900?
Well, we'd have 2 spares in case one gets ripped or torn.
That's true, we would.
Right, but we also don't know if
For
we're going to
$900.
cover the entire ramp. We may decide to do,
And we've been
Something
3
else.
years on what to, no, we've
since
been about,
2010.
we've been
At least
about 5
years
years.
that I've been here.
At least 5 or 6 years that we've been trying to figure out what to do with that roof so that it doesn't knock people with snow and things going
It's
out.
going to be hard to vote for an extra $3,200 and throw away $900. And
Especially,
it's
you've got
next year's-
2-size windows, as I recall from the, so
saying.
these 2 here, do they match the others, or are these 2 by themselves? So yeah, we'll have 2 spares that only
Oh,
go
no,
right
this
here.
side would just be this side, the front is different.
The front are wider windows.
There you go.
Okay.
All right,
We're going from bad to worse.
all right. I'm going to call the motion. All those in favor?
Yes.
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 Opposed?
Nay.
Okay, motion passes out of your
I can
awnings.
go ahead and order, I'm good. Okay, the next is insurance, and of course, I didn't print out, I can look on my computer, I didn't print anything out. We received 3 quotations. This is for our property liability, our public officials bond, workers' comp, and unemployment comp. We have 2 quotes from commercial insurance providers, Trident and Travelers. The agent for both of those is Davis & Toll. And then from Primex, which is a risk pool similar to what Property Liability Trust was, where it's not insurance, we're members of a risk pool. And it came out, the prices I quoted originally were without the CALIA discount for the police department.
Ones we have here are without.
Yeah, let me see. This is the one I had given you, yes.
And then you added it at the bottom.
Yes.
Okay.
Without the CALIA discount, yeah, CALIA certified discount, it would be an additional $1,000 less.
Okay.
But it would take a while to get that CALIA discount. The other discounts they give are for the, for having all the insurances. That's 10%, and then they also give a discount on your workers' comp for, they call it a, I don't know what the name of it is, but where each year they come in and they assess to make sure that, yes, we have a joint loss safety management committee, yes, our policies are up to date, and there's a list of like 10 questions, and as long as you do that every year, you get that additional discount. The advantage to being in a pool is that the total risk is spread out, all of the members in the pool. What we have control over is our modification factor, which is our personal claims experience. So as long as we keep our claims experience low, and you do that through training, and more training, we won't see any spikes in our premiums. And as a pool, because we are members of the pool, we're not trying to satisfy stockholders or corporate people. We're managing ourselves. So there's no way they can just up and cancel us, which as a municipality we need to make sure we have insurance coverage. We have control over keeping our modification factor low, and because we're members of a pool, we don't have to worry about having huge spike premium increases. So in talking with, I didn't get a chance to talk with Johnny about this, but with Tim and with the chief, they both highly recommend that we contract with Primex for our insurance. They do offer the option to be on a calendar year. I checked our budget. We have sufficient funding this year. We budgeted enough that it's no problem with signing on with them now for a year. The other thing that we can do, since we do have some extra money budgeted, is I would really like to take a look at our property schedule and see about getting some professional appraisals done on our property schedules, such as our pump stations and things like that. So we do have some additional money. That would be over and above, because they just take what we say the value is. So on some buildings...
Does our appraiser not, or our assessor not assess those?
No, the assessing is just for tax purposes.
Okay.
Ours would be for replacement cost.
Yep.
And also with, the, contents. Because we've just recently upgraded all of our computer equipment, we upgraded our phone system. As I mentioned, the sewer pump stations.
I don't care about the contents of those.
Just to have, we're now making a change to another insurance company. We've got new eyes looking at everything. We may want to increase the values in our property schedule. The last time we had it done on our buildings, I want to say, was in 2009, 2010. So that is our recommendation.
Make a motion, we go with Primex insurance for $117,262.
I'll second that.
I have a question.
Yep.
Am I looking at this right, that the blanket liability for Primex is $1 billion versus Travelers, which is $5,733,000?
Now, which page are you looking on?
I'm on the computer thing.
Blanket. Yeah, and that's the other good thing. Primex is per occurrence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would count those zeros up. That is $1 billion.
That's a heck of a slip and fall.
Well, I looked at those, I compared those first, because that's our biggest exposure, and I didn't really look at the others after I looked at that one. That's some pretty good coverage.
Oh, and the other thing is that they cover all of our volunteers for liability, and they cover volunteers for medical.
You mean like a
What you talking about,
workman's
Willis?
comp policy?
They're not employees, so it wouldn't be workers' comp, but if something happened, because they're not an employee.
Well, that's usually in an insurance. Like farmers often have that in their homeowners insurance. It's like a little, it's comparable.
If we
to
had a
workman's
committee
comp.
that something happened to one of them
That's very
coming.
interesting. They are used to dealing with municipalities.
And the deductible is the same, $1,000 deductible that we have.
All right,
It's cheaper.
okay.
I'm good.
Call the question. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Unanimous. Next.
I think, and just my quick non-public that we can do later.
Non-public.
I
Okay.
kept it as simple as possible.
Okay. This is an extremely abbreviated meeting, but I do see that we have public. I will entertain a question if you have a question, but we are leaving here at 6:15 to go to a public hearing at the Booton Center for the roads, and I don't know if you need to talk to us for any particular reason.
I think I got all the answers to my questions. I thought there was going to be a meeting here relative to the fines that get put off.
Yes, and at this point, any meetings with the Pines or discussions with the Pines Community Center is in a non-public session. So that would be, but at this point. We did, Board of Selectmen did meet on Tuesday evening, and we did have some suggestions on perhaps meeting with the Board of Selectmen in the council and collectively with the town of Tilton to answer some questions, but that will be at a later time. All right? Okay. Eric? Okay. Got it. Johnny, you're up.
Can I ask one question?
Oh, excuse me. Cindy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I put on your desk all those up for dating.
Yep.
I just want to
Got 'em.
track with that.
Yep.
Okay.
So
23rd is the last day, Cindy?
June 23rd is deed day, so we have a list, we have 18 names on the list that are going up for deed if the taxes aren't paid.
Any of them beachfront?
Nope.
There's no selectmen's retreats here, right? Okay.
Okay, could I ask one other question?
Yep.
I understand that the selectmen have decided to hold back at this time the next quarterly payment to the Pines, and I'm wondering if that's going to be reconsidered.
Well, the fact that there's been no discussion to reconsider it is...
Sorry?
The fact that there's been no discussion to reconsider it is public.
Our actions up to date with the Pines Community Center have been in a non-public session. So any communication in a public session would violate the sealing of the minutes. So.
All right, I'll try to move along fast because I know we have to go to another meeting.
Thank you.
Drawing things would be quicker. So this is, I'm starting with Mansville Road here. What we created over there last fall, I didn't want to do it in the fall, but we had to just to get the water flowing. If you look on the right-hand side, that's what we actually created. That's a what you call a drop inlet, and the drain is up top. And the reason we did it that way is it's a drop inlet, so the water simply flows in from the top on the house side of the street. The other side on 3M is the inlet side from the culvert, so that the water comes in and goes out. So it's
Somewhat.
Huh?
Somewhat. When you back up 50, 100 feet up Manville, it crosses the road and then comes on Mr. Chase's side.
That would have to be taken care of with another
Correct.
ditching project, but
Correct.
this is so that I was able to drain the water that's coming currently through the catch basin. Now, when we put it in, the reason I put that on the bottom is because it's a drop inlet. If you go to the left-hand side of your page, the area below, if I had brought the pipe up at all in order to get the proper pitch that I would have liked to have gotten, you now get into what would be called a catch basin, which would have to be permitted through DES and stuff like that. And also, the more water you capture in this structure would back up the pipe, the water in the flow of the pipe that crosses the road.
Did you replace for whether we get into drop inlets or catch basins, did you replace the device that was there?
No.
You didn't replace it at all?
I didn't replace
Is there
anything.
a bottom to it, or is it sand?
There was some sand in there, but there was a bottom.
Is there a concrete bottom to it?
You talking about the catch basin on the other side?
I'm
The
talking
drop
about
inlet.
the east side of the road, on the Chase side of the road.
Yeah, we put a concrete bottom in it.
Was there a concrete bottom in it before you put one in?
There was nothing
No,
there.
it was just sand.
Yeah, there was something there. It was just filled in.
What we did was
Just
we...
a pipe, I think, that came from the 3M catch basin across, and they just left it there on Mr. Chase's
When I
side.
went there after Chase had dug it up with Dennis, there was and I'm sorry, I've looked at too many since then, there was something in there underground.
We
It had
didn't-
been filled in.
We didn't find it because we...
I think it was just the
Okay,
pipe,
so
and
you installed this device, and it has a
Yeah.
concrete bottom,
Yeah.
not a dry stone. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so we installed the concrete bottom and bricks up so it's round. If I had raised the pipe at all, it would have caused the water level to come up, it would have stopped the flow, and then silt and sediment could have backed up into the pipe. That's why I went ahead and, even though we lost the pitch, I didn't get the pitch that I wanted, I still kept it on the bottom. So that, as you can see on the bottom, that's why it just effectively explains why. So out at the end of it, the very end, I put a perforated pipe so that any water trapped also could leach through the perforated pipe.
is it perforated under the driveway?
No, it's a very end pipe. There's no perforated under the driveway. The rest of, there's three lengths
So
of
from
pipe
the drop inlet, you cross the driveway,
with 60
solid-
feet of pipe.
solid pipe, and then it went perforated after?
Yeah, because there's 60 feet of pipe in there. We use 60 feet of pipe, so we use two 20-foot sticks of pipe. They're solid pipe. The last piece is 20 feet, which is a perforated pipe. So no, nothing under the driveway it's all solid. And we discussed in the selectmen's meeting back in the fall that there may be a turn up because of getting the pitch, because it wasn't quite. So what I'm going to do is I'll give you another handout. Keep in mind, I'm not an artist. When we go back over to finish, I'm also going to go down into the area where it outlets and create a little bit deeper ditch and bank it a little bit higher.
No, you're not. Oh, no, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because that's going to aggravate the situation that's already there. You have a property that has young children on it.
Well-
And the outlet to the pipe for this has created this incredible chasm. It's killed some trees. It's washed the dirt away from the roots. And now you're talking about making a deeper trench where they play and travel.
What I was talking about...
I know you're trying to drain it off, but I hope when you say trench,
Well, I
it's
wasn't-
only to put a pipe in.
No, I was saying ditch. What I would do is try to go lower and feather it out so that you have not a trench.
Now you're turning somebody's property into a wetlands.
No, it's going to allow the water to run across like it always should have. And as
The
far
water
as...
never ran across there before.
Where did it run?
Over his property.
Well, that's what he's saying, the
You're
road,
going to have to fill it
Into
in.
his yard, not
You're gonna have to
not
run a
into
pipe
where
through
he's
there.
going to ditch.
Right now, we need to figure out how do we solve the issue of the outlet of the pipe from this that's created a very dangerous situation. And I've been there when that pool was full of water.
the outlet pool.
Yeah.
That never happened before? It never got full of water?
There wasn't one there. You put it in.
There was just a sump on his side of the road.
I'm sorry, I'm missing...
What
something.
happened in the past, the water that went in the 3M catch basin came across the road, the pipe was plugged, so it slowly perked its way through, down in his yard. The stuff on the road would come around, cascade across to his side, go into his lawn area, not the woods, and perk down through.
Oh. Because I was under the impression that, like, for the most part, if you got heavy rains and spring melt, that area would kind of flood there, and it would dissipate as the water went down.
The water off the road floods out. That whole yard is sand. Water doesn't sit there too long, except now down in that area where it was wooded, it's not sand. This big pool of water, when you think of those little kids, it's kind of frightening. And it's eroded itself deeper.
Do you, given the circumstances, you've been up there, Catherine's been up there, you've been up there, you've been up there, you know, I've been up there, I didn't walk onto his property. Given the circumstances, can you fix this?
Well, I'd have to go up there and, yeah, anything's fixable. But I'd have to go up there now that this has been explained, because I always thought the water went there anyway. I would have to look for another outlet of the pipe, another outlet of the water, and see where it can go. I might have to add some more pipe to it to drain it somewhere else. The problem is
Your water's
Peter
flowing,
just-
is, I think, flowing back toward the drop inlet.
because
Why couldn't we have put in a storm drain where your outlet pipe was, elbow, put a piece down, so that once it started to flow, it would siphon down,
I
no
can
different
put
than
in-
the drop inlet?
I can put a what you call a dry sump in right there, just eliminate the pipe. I could take the structure that we put in right out. It'd only take maybe a day.
So you're gonna set it on crushed stone?
Yeah, I'll just take it out, make the area wider. You drop a dry sump, they come precast. You drop them in.
Will the dry sump accommodate all the water from Fog
That's going to
Pond?
be tough. We'd have to make a fairly large hole with, and
They
put
do a
stone in
decent
it.
job, Joe. When you drive by again, you look at my driveway, I've got one.
Virgin Lake.
Especially if it's that much sand. You might get some backup depending on how big the
Heavy
storm
rains,
is.
it may
But
overflow temporarily, and then
but
once
it'll
it lets up.
leach.
Yeah.
It'll leach in. So I can put a dry sump.
I'm just amazed that we're sitting here and this is now the 4th or 5th week that this has been going on. We don't have an answer yet. We have pictures. We don't have an answer. And we have a selectman suggesting to the director how to fix this.
Well, he wasn't suggesting to me. I'm the one that said dry sump.
Well, he did, because he said the
Why-
drain going down, and
So,
Okay.
okay, let's get it fixed.
we need to get this fixed. It's 4 weeks, 4
Well,
plus
the thing-
weeks.
When I did this whole project, when I first came up with it, it was exactly what the homeowner wanted. I thought the water goes there. I was brand new.
There's the problem. You thought the water went there. You didn't know enough about the property to even put something in, and it doesn't matter what the homeowner wants. It's what's going to fix the problem. And if you didn't know the flow of water, you should have known before you even thought about what you were going to do to fix it. How could you fix it without knowing? And obviously you didn't. So,
So we have to get it fixed. So the question is, when can we fix it? That's the next question.
I can fix it just as soon as we're on top of catching up with our mowing. I can schedule I can go out and dig safe it again, and then I'll have to order a dry sump. They probably got them right down in Concord at Phoenix, and as soon as I can get one of those, I can go.
I would suggest before we do anything else that we go there when it's raining heavily, and we study the flow of waters over those
I've been there
roads
when
and
it
those
was raining, and
properties.
it seemed to me like it was working fine.
Bike week, right, Joe?
Oh, yeah, definitely. With the cold, maybe snow and sleet.
Because we still have erosion problems there.
All right. So that's Mansville. You're going to go over when it's raining, examine the flow again, order what's necessary, and have a plan. Correct? Got it?
Yep, all right, then I'll throw my final plan of what I was going to do with the rest of the yard out for now.
All right.
So we shortened that up.
It's a good thing.
You,
Now, as I indicated on my weekly sheet that I give you guys, I had some talks with the chief about the municipal parking lot that we have by the Tilton House of Pizza. I think it's parking lot E. He's looking into some of the organizations that he works with, Rotary and different things. And so far, they've indicated to him that they think it's a worthwhile project for them to fund for grants. But he said that they have to meet with me and go over some of what we want to do. But this is, again, I'm not a draftsman or an artist or anything, so it's not to scale or anything like that. So I drew a rough thing of what I'm planning on doing. Obviously, we've talked about making it one-way, so you can see I put one-way signs on the entrance, just threw in some arrows. We've taken off the T down by the sewer siphon station, so it goes straight through. We'll make it one-way. I'd also like to put a walkway in that we can possibly raise up a little and try to make it ADA compliant, and allow the water to run on through.
Why would you put a walkway through parking spaces where cars are backing in and pulling in? Then you're going to have a pedestrian walkway through there?
Well, as it currently stands, the most of the traffic that uses this parking lot currently goes over to Tilton House of Pizza. I mean, they go throughout town too, but...
I was going to say, it depends on if it's Friday or Saturday night, but I don't think we should...
But if, the reason I would encourage people to use the walkway is because when it's busy, they're trying to walk around this sewer siphoning station, and you got one-way traffic. It's just a possibility of...
They should walk up to the sidewalk and walk over.
should.
I don't
Yeah,
think
they
we
should,
We
but,
shouldn't put a walkway in that encourages people to walk into traffic.
Then I can take that out. It's just,
That's just my opinion.
yeah.
Sound like the DOT, Catherine.
I was just trying to deal with
I do
what
listen
is,
to
because
them
they're going to, I feel that they're going to walk around it anyway, so...
I think we need to look at if it increases our liability, if we, there are parking cars, so you're going to be walking, they're head-in parking, I would imagine that they would be seeing it, but once they get out of the parking and then go into the establishment, whichever they go, you're still crossing away that walking away. They're not going to go down here, this little path that you have here. They're going to go right up at the top.
Yeah, the only thing I was thinking of, because the sewer station's higher than a person is tall, and as they're walking around it, I was just thinking of the traffic coming around.
Now you're gonna
Seems like we would lose a couple of parking places
Actually, I think we're going to gain, because
by putting in an ADA compliant walkway
it's
through there.
5 feet wide, so we have 5 feet here. But when we're going to take out that
The T.
the T at the end by the station, you're actually only a few feet short on the last parking spot anyway, as it stands now.
Motorcycle spot.
So, well, you actually have a full spot for a car there. You might have a motorcycle spot on the other side, and possibly one on this side. This is not done to scale, so I have to be down for the layout. I know we're going to gain at least one parking spot, so we might be able to squeeze 2 or possibly a motorcycle spot or 2 on it. But we'll have to do that according to what the final measurements come out. So this is what I have planned right now, and I put the do not enter sign on. Obviously, we want to keep those trees. They're really nice. They're out of the way. But as far as coming up with what I'd like to do as far as using material and stuff, it would, if we got a grant, that can open up a lot of avenues. And I would really love to. It would be my first big project for the town, to do something that would say, hey, I'm here to do something special for you guys, and I want to make things great,
So what are you thinking of using for material to form up that lower base? And would you replace the top one with the pressure
firm up, I'm
treated?
sorry, Catherine.
What would you use to build all of this? Are you going to replace the top one where the existing trees are?
Yeah, I'm gonna replace all around that too.
And what are you suggesting for material?
Well, that's the thing, I don't know yet, because I don't know if the grant's going to come through. If it's not going to come through, then I'm going to probably look into wood similar to what's there. And if we don't have to replace it, then obviously we won't, but I'm going to try to look.
Some of this is rotted.
Some of it is. But, you know, I'll try to keep the price down. Whatever we do is going to be better than what's there, but it's not, I mean, as far as the project itself, because of the rotten pieces and stuff. But
What is the elevation at the step down?
it's only going to be about maybe 6 inches or so, about the size of the step. It's not really that high.
What is your elevation from the asphalt to the top of the lower?
That'll depend on the price of
Because
how
that
much.
right now is,
Right now, it's probably about 8 inches, maybe.
oh, no, it's more than that, it's 2 ties.
There are 2 railroad ties, right? So that's maybe a
talking
foot,
at least
because
a foot.
one of them partially buried the bottom.
I just threw the picture away.
But it varies from the top end to the bottom end, too.
I had some
But
suggestions. When I originally suggested that we take those out, I think we're turning this into too big of a thing here. I can't see why you can't remove those rotted ties. We should pick up some used granite curb. There must be some place that the
Yeah,
state
I'll-
has used granite curb, put it in at a slant, bring it up just a couple inches, put dirt in the middle, so it's sloped in a little bit. When you plow, it's not going to upset the granite curb, it's at a slant. You can pile snow in the middle. We don't need walkways. As it is, it's a parking lot. People walk through every parking lot like that. And keep it simple, prune the trees, and we're done.
Right. No, I can do that, and then that'll be my,
If you made,
if I can't make anything else happen, there's nothing totally unsafe about it right now.
Why would we want to raise it up, which only makes steps and stuff that block
No, I wasn't going to make it any
snow?
higher than
Yeah.
it is.
And you know what I mean, when they do like exit ramps and they put the curb at a little bit of a slant? You can use old curb, dirt in the middle, and
if you made it narrower, you'd create more area in that parking lot
Behind
for
it.
cars
Yep.
to get in and out.
Maneuver.
Right now, it's a little bit tight. Well,
It
if I
is
go in
tight.
there with my 8-foot bed on my truck, it's a little tight. I came in with a double cab.
No, I
So if
can,
we narrowed this up,
which way? This right here,
the
Catherine?
space in the middle.
the
space in
middle
the
part
middle.
between there and the
we-
sump.
Oh, I
closed
got
up,
it. Got it. I know what you're talking about.
you know, and if you wanted something grown in there, you could grow something simple like just throw a bunch of daylilies in there. Nothing kills them.
Yeah, I went over to Apple Tree Nursery today, actually, and talked to them about some low-growing plants and shrubs and stuff, to get some ideas of what would be best fit in there with the least amount of maintenance.
Daylilies. Nothing kills them.
People go walk through them. They go walk through it, and so you don't have to mow it.
And you don't, I mean, and the other thing is you don't have to put anything there. Bulk mulch it.
I don't think
Hold on 1 second. Our town clerk has something to say.
I have something to say. Just in case you don't know, Mike Gagne owns the Bay Building. He's closing off that parking lot. The signs are out there now. He's not going to let anybody park there.
Right.
So with a project like this, if you can make it thinner and add some more spots, I think that'd be beneficial.
no maneuverable.
Yeah,
Yeah, the signs are already up there.
yeah.
Where's this at?
Northway Bank.
Everything.
Oh, they're going to close that off?
Yes,
It
privately
goes
owned.
with the
Yeah.
bank.
Right, it's already closed off. Okay,
But no, I can do that, John, and I have no problem doing that. What I'm trying to do as a department head is explore all the options so that
Something
I
out
can do
there.
the best of whatever we can do. And I'll do that, if that's what it all boils down to. I'd just rather take the time and try to do something, I'd just rather do something that we can always, when I walk away from a job,
do?
I want to be proud to say, me and my
Makes
crew
sense.
did that.
I think we should make it
The signs here,
as narrow as possible.
How long on
the signs here
ramp?
with the one-way going that way, wouldn't it be better to put
Don't move,
one-way going out so people don't turn in? So if you, instead of putting signs one way going this way, usually it's better to put them on the way going out so that people won't turn in that way. Because if you don't make signs here, they're going to turn. But if you have arrows going out,
If you paint arrows on the pavement,
if you,
It's even in the window.
I couldn't, that's
If-
not a bad
Then they'll
suggestion. I
know
can
the
look
yeah,
at
routine.
and if you put signs
They'll
going in
still show in the
here,
winter.
it's a no, it doesn't matter. People are going, no, you can't go in this way, you only go that way. So they always put one way going
Yeah.
that way.
So what does everyone think about John's suggestion with the small curb, a little bit of mulch with some, a little bit of mulch with daylilies or something low growing in there?
I say narrow it up.
Narrow it up.
Make the parking easier and better for people.
Aye.
Prune the trees back that are on the end too.
You'll have to do that slowly.
what's the length of the current slots?
I always just,
I know, I do too.
Pickup trucks stick out in the parking lot. So
can
it's
pull
not
it
as
in.
long as a double cab truck.
Mine would barely stick out on the, so
I
it's gotta
can't
be
fit.
8 feet.
No,
No, you won't.
So why do we need the part going from the island up by the sidewalk down to the
Trees?
siphon?
As long as you want the trees, you have to have it.
No, I'm saying get rid of this and just make it so that the cars come almost,
because of drainage and stuff like that.
They'll
it
just
was-
go in and out from
They
there.
asked the
you can
planning
put a
board, I think the
guard,
planning board said,
Curbing.
curb,
Something in
guardrail, or
between
whatever you,
Green
but if it
space
was
in
open, it would
between
also
parking
make it easier on winter maintenance.
Well, but as John said, the planning board, when you have this area that's all asphalt, we like to have green space. I mean, you have some with the trees.
drainage and snow piling and...
And if you continue to have some kind of barrier in there, 3 feet, I don't know, 2.5, at least you're not going to have cars bumping into each other.
Park mulch or brown space.
Good idea.
So I think that's consensus.
So,
A small curbing, narrow it down, put some green, daylilies or something in there.
Don't have to buy them.
Don't have to buy them,
They grow at my house like weeds.
We'll dig some up.
perennials that you can't, right, and don't buy the perennials.
isn't it already brown
The-
space?
So we're going to narrow this up, we'll go over it one more time. Narrow this up, a small curbing, whatever,
Granite,
granite.
it's rugged, and plows can hit it.
Can we get old curbing?
I think
We have
so.
some.
I can look around for
You
some
can
more.
hit it, it'll still damage.
But you're talking granite on the top, for the top post, or the top
Yeah, just like they have on exit ramps, the all granite curbing.
Oh, you're talking about parking stops?
No,
No.
just
Put in some
No.
granite curbing.
complete
No,
corner.
no,
Granite
on
curbing
the
when you get off
on-ramps,
the
on the
on-ramps.
on-ramps, they don't lay the granite vertical, it's at an angle. John's
Yeah,
right.
and then that holds it in.
So narrow it down. We'll put in some dirt and enough to just grow some daylilies, make the parking longer. And no walkway, correct?
No walkway.
Got it.
And then
All right.
whatever you can fit in for parking spaces,
All right,
give a
and
half, turn it into
Get
a...
leftovers
like-
and
Right,
become motorcycle.
and this end down here, we want paved, right?
yeah, I
As
wrote
well?
that in there. I'm gonna,
Yeah,
Isn't it now?
No, this is our parking space down here that's not paved.
Oh, you're talking about the parking lot that's behind.
Steadies.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know for sure. I'll have to get with the town office to find out exactly how many parking spots we have down there, so I can pave
I
them
don't know
all
what
out.
size this was to pull out the deed.
And then signage, and then paint. Got it?
Got it.
Got it. He says he's got it.
I got it, but so you don't want me to
This
wait? You don't want me to wait on the chiefs finding out about the grant or anything?
Plus, we can use the grant somewhere else.
well, sometimes they're earmarked for certain particular projects,
The way
I've been
we,
waiting on those for a long
the way
time.
we reduced
like
the grant.
specific grants.
It would make sense. Somebody else could use it. Make another place more beautiful.
Yep.
I need to know why the cemeteries weren't mowed, and I want to know why Buffalo Park hasn't been taken care of.
Why, what park hasn't been taken care of?
Buffalo.
Buffalo, okay.
That's a real quick, easy, I mean, you don't even have to take a lawnmower over there if you don't want to. You can do that with a weed whacker, but it hasn't been done.
I'll look into that as far as Buffalo, because they were already up there
I was there
last week.
today. I was there today.
They were there last week, too.
Okay, but I was there today, and it's in need of mowing.
Because they've been mowing Tuesday.
I'm not, that doesn't concern me. Why is it in need of mowing? Is nobody, so I guess the question is, nobody monitoring the mowing needs? Are we guessing?
Well, no, I got my foreman and the other driver that we have out mowing. As far as the cemeteries this weekend, as you might have saw in my email, I totally take it on that because I sent them out too early, and I thought it would be enough time that the grass wouldn't need to be mowed again, but it wasn't. It was too
So
early.
nobody checked last week before the weekend to see if they did need to be mowed?
No, I didn't check. It was my fault. I should have had it mowed later in the week so that they were better
unacceptable.
prepared.
I agree with Catherine.
It's completely unacceptable.
Memorial Day, absolutely positively unacceptable not to have
Right.
cemeteries mowed.
Yeah. No, I
They should be the priority all season long. Those are where our families are buried, our ancestors, and most of those cemeteries, we're still here.
I visited.
I know I've got mine, and it's unacceptable. It just isn't. There's no excuse. I'm sorry. It should have been monitored. It should have been done. Even if you've got to mow them every 3 days because of the weather or whatever, or we get growth spurts, and that's what it needs to be done.
right.
But for them to have been in that deplorable condition, especially this weekend, is completely unacceptable. In Buffalo Park, that's too simple of a job not to have been to be done efficiently.
Right.
I just.
I have a question.
Yep.
It's my understanding that our little Husqvarna ride-em-around tractor has been disabled now since last September, approximately, and that would be 8 months ago. So I was wondering why we hadn't fixed it earlier, and moving forward, are there any other pieces of equipment that we have currently that are non-functioning?
No, there's no other equipment non-functioning, and we had ordered the part to fix the mower this spring, and it finally came in and has been repaired last week.
If we knew that the machine was broken last September, why didn't we all order the part last September where it's slow and you sometimes don't know what to do with the guys after they've been plowing? Someone in the garage could have been fixing it.
Well, that was already stored away, but we could have done that. You're 110% right.
Okay. Any other questions for John? Yep.
March Road, you said they're using winter binder?
Yeah, they're putting they put the base coat down today.
Is there a reason why they went with the winter binder instead of the regular 3/4?
I just call it winter binder. It's binder.
Well, because there's a difference between, the winter binder has less stone, more sand, it seals up more, they'll use that as a single course, or if you're putting the binder in the fall, you're not going to do surface till the next year so that you don't get the ice filled up.
This was binder.
Okay,
they're
so
going to be putting the next course on it, I believe, next week.
Okay.
Because they put the base course on today, and the crew that's already up there will be doing all the final ditch work and everything this week.
Okay.
And then they'll come back next week, a week before, week after. I believe it's next week on the schedule.
Okay.
To put the top course on. And then it'll all be finished up when they come back and do the gravel and the shoulder gravel.
Is there anything else that we need to do before Old Home Day? Are we on schedule for everything ready for that?
Parking spaces, right? Downtown?
See what?
Don't the parking spaces downtown get a fresh coat of paint for Old Home Day? In the past, they have.
Well, in the past,
And
but
I know we're going to be doing them again, but do you want to forego that for Old Home Day?
I would.
I think you guys said last time we talked about it, that we were going to try to skim coat the crosswalks. We haven't made it to yet, obviously.
Yeah.
But we were not going to paint the parking spots unless they were just so bad that you had to see them.
Makes sense.
But you can make them out, so it's not like it's a
The
free-for-all.
crosswalks will help for
Crosswalks need to
safety.
get painted,
Yeah.
all of them.
And I did meet up with, I was working on the sidewalk out here, and Bill Rollins came by. He's going to send me a letter. He got in contact with the Bureau of Traffic, and I kind of knew this, but I didn't know because we were changing it from thermoplastic to paint. But the Bureau of Traffic doesn't paint crosswalks brand new, or maybe now they don't even paint crosswalks anymore, I don't know. But they don't paint them new on new sidewalk, or new asphalt.
But we can,
But I
right?
said we can do that.
That wasn't part of Pike's contract?
Part of the Pike's contract is they're going to come in and they're going to paint the crosswalks
Yeah.
back in.
With thermal.
Except for one, with thermal, and that's fine, let them do it. And then when that needs painting, then we'll replace it.
Well, the problem with letting them do the thermal now is if you like the looks of paint and you want us to come in and paint it, which we can do that. I've seen it done in the past. A few weeks later, it turns dingy brown, and you're also covering up the beads that is in the thermal anyway, but it's just not going to look right. I've been around that enough to know it's just going to turn icky looking, for lack of a better word, and you're not going to be happy with it.
Well, painting over fresh pavement, you mean?
What's that?
You mean painting
Over the
over?
plastic.
Over the
it gets
plastic, the
chipped-
thermoplastic.
It gets chipped and scratched, and it doesn't look good over time. And we'll be repairing it, painting it.
Are you trying to say that the thermal plastic paint, you can't use regular crosswalk paint over it?
You can put it on there. I painted it myself, and it will look white again, but it's only going to be white for a few weeks, and it turns like a dingy brown, almost brown color shortly with the sun hitting it. And
The white paint does?
yeah.
But
The
that's
white-
what we've been painting our side crosswalks with for
But when
years.
it's on top of the plastic, it does some kind of chemical reaction with
Okay,
the sun.
so then the answer is that no, you really can't paint over it and expect the same results.
You won't be happy with, it won't be that bright white that you were looking for, because my understanding is sometimes you have the highway department paint them a couple of times in the summer, because you like them being bright and stand out.
No, they paint them twice a year
Right,
as
once
regular
in the-
maintenance. They
Yeah.
paint it in the spring,
Yeah,
and then they paint them in the fall before winter.
Yeah,
Right.
so,
And it has nothing to do with the selectmen like them
Well,
bright
no, I mean,
white.
bright white so that people can see them.
That's the general maintenance that
Yeah.
we've done.
yeah, I meant so that people can see them.
I like them bright white.
So, well, they don't, 3 weeks after they paint them with the trucks going over them and cars screeching over them, they're not bright white anymore. This is fact light, but you can still see them.
So what's the solution over the plastic?
Not put the plastic down and just paint it.
And they won't do that.
They won't
We
paint
would
it.
be
No,
required
they'll
to.
only do the thermal,
So
because that's what they have switched to. But I thought the last conversation we had was to get more information about this, and we talked about samples.
Right.
Yeah, so I called the state, and they're willing to not do it.
That's not what we asked for. Investigation on the thermal paint.
Well, I did
So,
that part.
and we
then-
talked about getting samples of some of it. 'Cause
Well,
they
you
will
said
give
you liked the idea of
samples.
free, when we said the free samples,
Well,
some
that's-
places you can get. But we had talked about it, and you guys left up to me, you said that you would rather not use thermal plastic. And that's where I was going with it, because the thermoplastic, let you know all
But
the...
now the question comes up with, the state said that they would paint the crosswalks.
With thermoplastic.
They're going to paint it with thermoplastic. Now the question comes up, we need to see a sample of thermoplastic with paint on it. What does it look like? What's going to happen? We want to see what happens to that, I guess, and that's what Catherine is saying.
I'm just curious why the state would go to thermoplastic if it's not the way to go, because boy, I'll tell you, they do not like to spend money, so if it's not an efficient process, it's
Well,
just interesting that they would choose to go to it.
Because the state is different than the town, meaning, when they come through and they paint a line, be it, they don't paint a bunch of parking spots, for one thing, unless it's in a state building. They used to paint crosswalks when I was there. Not all town parking lot, crosswalks. Most of the time, if it was in a town, the town was responsible for it. But when they paint something, unless something major happens, they don't typically paint it twice. They paint it once and it's gone, they're done. When they thermoplastic it, the only time it got repainted is when either the foreman of the truck or something was there and we were painting the line anyway, and it was just so beat up from plowing that the foreman decided to paint it while we're going down the road anyhow, because it was messed up. That's why I say I've seen it before, because I have painted over it and been told to paint over it. I'm speaking from experience and telling you that I know what I'm talking about in this case completely, and telling you exactly what will happen to it.
So is that...
Eric, I had a question. I want to just...
There's two.
Well, there's one or two
I think the plows ripped it up. Because if you look at sidewalks down by the high school, there's two of them, and it's the same stripe that's missing.
Could I have
Go ahead.
a possible solution? Can we tell the state, don't put them down, we'll paint the white things and be done with it?
That's what I was
And not-
saying.
It's cheaper, we're going to have to do it the next year and the year after that. We might as well start now and not
Question
have to
on
deal
our-
with stuff peeling up.
Question on our machine. Do we do glass beads or not? Or is it just
We
white
don't
paint?
do glass beads currently.
Why not?
I don't know why they don't.
Is it capable of...
The machine's not capable.
So you'd
itself.
have to spread it by hand?
Yeah.
I'm looking at a website here for liquid
It's just normally
thermoplastic
glass
paint
beads
with
is
glass beads, and it says, use conventional spray machines to apply, well, they've got a brand name, plastic.
Spray machines?
Use conventional, they're basically saying that you can use your machine, this is just another kind of paint.
No.
So you dump it in, it's thermoplastic, liquid thermoplastic paint.
And
And
I've
you
never-
dump it in your machine, it has glass beads, and off you go.
and how do you clean it up? And what do you use for solvents?
They
and
have both.
MSDS.
Yep, plastic is available in both water and solvent base, no need for special spray equipment for spray application.
That's new.
Unique polymers and high salt of plastic gives the high build, excellent brightness, durability, reflectivity, and bead retention. Does not need any heat kettles. For
Could
use
I
on roads,
make a
crosswalk,
motion
parking lots.
that we apply the sidewalk paint ourselves and forego having the state apply their thermoplastic stripes?
Second.
Question, with or without glass beads?
To be determined, as not another time.
Still second.
We'll get time to decide on beads or no beads.
So we're going to go from a reflective crosswalks to non-reflective,
No, we're going from a non-sticky stick-down thing.
which is
to-
reflective.
No, we're going from a non-sticky stick-down, the state putting that down, to we will apply some type of paint onto
But the
it.
stuff the
Okay.
state's putting down has reflective.
And it's a paint.
I don't, that's not, I'm not going to change my motion on it.
It's plastic. We're just going to
Whatever they decide.
You
Paint.
can put beads in them.
I can buy beads and put in
There
it.
you go.
Well, if we're going to...
But can the machine handle the beads?
We can
No.
put it in by hand.
Okay.
It just won't be shot in with a gun. But we
Why
can,
don't we find out what that machine is capable of? You know,
The-
brand, right?
the paint machine that we have,
Yeah.
it's not set up for glass beads. I mean, they have them that can shoot glass beads, but we don't have it.
Okay.
Our
Okay.
machine's older.
Call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No, absolutely not.
Opposed?
Please let the record show I specifically said no. We haven't done any research.
All right.
And please add that to my no.
That's a long no.
It is.
Okay.
So the state puts down...
So no work on the sidewalks yet? Unless somebody has another motion out there.
Yeah, have you guys, speaking of sidewalks, have you looked at my RFP for the sidewalks?
And it didn't pass. The state does it.
Oh, it didn't pass?
When did you send it to us?
No, a few weeks ago.
Now the state's going to do it.
When?
Well, no, now we have time to research. Do you know what? Research.
3 to 2.
3 to 2 or 2 to 3? How did you vote?
3, 4, 2, no.
There was 3
I
new.
voted no.
I voted no.
I voted no.
So it's a 2-3.
Oh,
Yeah,
hear
okay.
that.
That's why I said we'll have it another time. The motion did not pass. All right,
All right, so the motion for the,
Right now, the state is still going to put on their stuff.
okay,
That's what it stands.
I'll call them tomorrow. Make sure.
unless something comes up
Unless something changes.
Okay.
Right now, the
before
state's
then,
Still going to put down their stuff.
you
So
do
I'd
your
let 'em
research,
know.
whatever, just right now, the state's going to do their thing. West Street, what are you going to do?
We'll go up and pave the parts where it's, the water is washing to make it flow into the catch basins. That's the problem, is it's happened all around. I have to rent the coring machine. I think the problem in town areas is we've gotten so much asphalt over the years of filling,
Mill and fill?
no, not mill and fill. I'm having a senior moment.
Overlay?
Yeah. Shim coat, overlay and all that, that we've got so much asphalt that instead of water running down the street to the catch basins, they're now sheeting off of the roads into the yards like they would on an outlying road. And when you have urban-type streets, you don't want that. You want them to run into the road and down to your drainage system, not the other way around. And that's what's happening now, is our roads, the water's running off of our roads and down the yards and washing away parts of the yards, so...
So why wouldn't they have built up the ditch to
You mean the,
compensate?
well, you don't
So
want...
if you add some,
Coal patch.
yeah, I mean, we don't have drainage system throughout town, so in a couple of areas that may be so, but
Well, in...
I don't, there's a catch basin across the street, right?
Up
Is
and
there one on
across.
that side of the street?
No, down further.
down further.
Way down further,
Way
right?
down, yeah.
So
If,
16.
there's no, you're thinking that road was designed to channel the water all the way down to that catch basin? Aren't
typically,
those crowned roads? And crowned roads are designed to sheet off,
yeah, and
not funnel water down.
typically what happens is, you do have the crown in the road, but you build your roads down in an urban area, because yards and houses are pretty close to the road. You don't want the water going into the yards or running to the houses. So you typically try to build and set up your drainage system to capture the water. So you don't want the water always out in the middle of your road. So you do still set up a crown, or they used to do C crowns, so you want them running down the side of the road, in the road, to a catch basin, which is designed to take the water away throughout the whole systems, which you have here in town. I mean, granted, there are some places that need more catch basins, but,
They're gonna find
Huh?
there's really no drainage system in most of the town up there.
but
What does the coring machine do?
it drills out a hole.
Hockey
about-
pucks. Hockey pucks.
Yeah, it drills out a hole.
About 5-inch diameter, 5 or 6?
Yeah, something like that. I think they come in different sizes. And you drill down in till a depth.
Until you hit gravel.
Yeah.
You
So
can usually
put the depth
tell,
and
you
pull
can,
it back out.
you can tell.
And so you made a hole in the road, now what?
Patch it back up after you're done.
You put the puck back in. Add a little adhesive, it'll stay.
What does that do?
Yeah, where
It gives you the, what's in your road, what's the depth of pavement. You can't tell looking from the side.
Okay,
Why do we care how deep the road is?
Because if these roads are getting so high, and like I said, our water is coming off of the road and into the yards, and instead of making it to the catch basins, it's running into the yards and into...
It does through most of the town, run into yards, yes.
Yeah, so if you looked at our 10-year plan where we have I put on there mill and fill for the next couple of years here in this area. What we have the opportunity to do there is we can lower the road back down where they're lower than the yards and have the water run in the road, and in that case, with the crown, in that case, make it to the catch basins, which catch basins are designed to capture the water and take it away.
I know what catch basins are for.
Oh, I know you know what catch basins are for. I just have to finish out my...
The other advantage when you mill and fill, if you have curbing, guardrail, what have you, you don't have to do work because you're taking it down and then you're putting it back like the West Main Street project last year.
Am I missing something here? I'm not a road person by any means, but over the last 6 or 7 years, most of our roads that we've repaired in our 10-year plan have been mill and fill, so why would we...
No, they were, a lot of them were reclaim, and we reclaimed areas where we were reclaiming gravel, which was a waste of taxpayer money. Mill is you're taking some of the pavement. When we did the town parking lot, Tryon, Rescue, that was reclaim. It's like a rototiller, you're taking gravel, asphalt, mixing the two together. Two slightly different processes.
Yeah. Mill and fill is actually very good if you are on a road that you want to raise, if you wanted to come up higher, because we're using the material that's already there, and when you go to repave it, you're paving on top of what's already there, and so you're actually going up. The milling process is taking that away, you're grinding it up, and then you truck it away, and then you put the asphalt back in where you milled it. So in this case, if we want to drop the road down, let's say that we have 8 inches of asphalt, just to throw a number. We don't want to take it all out, but let's say we take out, I don't know, 6 inches. So you still have 2 inches left in there. And we only want to pay back 3. Then you've dropped the road by 3 inches. So you've actually reset your road, because you can come to a point, especially in the urban areas, where your road gets too high. And as you do a shim and overlay, that's the word I was looking for earlier, you do a shim and overlay, you're always raising catch basins, right? Because you don't want that big drop when everybody's driving over them. The problem with raising everything up so high that if the water shoots off of the road and goes out into the yards, and then it's never making it down to the catch basin.
Pat, what was your question?
Over the past 10 years, we've been reclaiming and mill and filling. So why would we need to go back out to do cores on roads that are clearly stated that we've done mill and fill? I mean, there's some that we've done reclaim, I get that. So...
If we don't have this road to do soon, and I don't have my plans, I don't know when it's scheduled to do. Seems to me we did it not too long ago. Let's not dig a hole in it to find out how thick the asphalt is. Let's just put a patch on the problem, and then when we come to do roads, maybe we should talk about drilling holes before we do it to determine what we want to do when we do it. Otherwise, we're going to have all these roads with holes in them.
But they're only like...
I mean, we're not going to... What you're talking about is for us to decide how we're going to pave that road.
No, what I'm talking about is, for me, I'll rent a machine to
drill
bore,
a hole so you can know how thick the asphalt is.
and I can put it on the record for that road, so that when I'm making
Well,
my
let's
plans...
not do this right now. We can do that.
I didn't say I was going to do it tomorrow. I said
But we
sometime.
asked, let's fix the hole on the side of the road. How are we going to do that?
Well, that's where it all led into, is what I'm saying is, I can fix it for now.
That's what we want.
Yeah,
Now, how are you going to fix it for now?
you're gonna have to
Stone,
pave swells.
gravel?
Pave swells into it.
Okay, when?
As soon as I get people freed up from mowing, I can either jump on that or Mansville. So we got one more day of mowing this week, and then next week we'll be starting it all over again. So probably next week, I don't even have to get that dig saved. I can jump right on that.
How many hours of mowing do we have in a week?
As it stands right now, they've been mowing Tuesday and Wednesday. They had class today.
I don't want to know that. I want to know how many hours of mowing do we have in a week?
Bare minimum 24, probably 30 hours for two people. Bare minimum. That's what it's been taking them so far, because they're on their second round of mowing now.
That's an awful lot of mowing. And we don't have that much to mow.
Takes a while in your cemeteries. Can't use the big machines.
The other machine was down.
But how many cemeteries are we doing? And they're all small,
I think that's, I don't have the exact number off the top of my head, but that's
like half a dozen.
part of the problem is they're all small. I think there must be more than 6.
No, but I said there's about, you got up there, the end of Post House Road.
So do we have the mechanic right now working full-time as mechanic, or do we shift him outside?
Shift him outside.
Okay.
He's been inside the last, well, he was in there all day Tuesday, and he had to work on one of their cruisers, change out the struts and stuff, so he was pretty much right at it for the last 2 days, Tuesday and Wednesday. So he did four cars this Tuesday and Wednesday, which you'll see on next week's report.
I'm just trying to find a way that we can get the work done. There has to be somehow in a week. I mean, it baffles me that, last year at this time, we were getting the work done. So what's different from last year to this year, and what's different from the year before that than it is this year, and we're not getting the work done? We had one man down last year.
Yeah.
We have one man down this year. So the same personnel. I don't get why we're not working. I don't get why we're not getting the work done. That's why I'm not. I know we've got a lot of unfinished projects, but we're not getting them complete.
The only difference in personnel you have is myself and my foreman. That's the only 2 differences you have.
The number in personnel that
The number in personnel is the
The
same.
number in personnel that we had last year is the same as we have this year. We had one person out for a few weeks. We still have one person out this year for a few weeks. The year before that was the same thing. And 2 years ago, we didn't have this problem of trying to figure out who's going to be doing mowing, who's not doing mowing, cemeteries not being done, half projects being,
We don't do that.
half done and not being finished.
Sidewalks not being done.
Sidewalks not being
Well,
done.
that's a big difference
7, 8, 10.
past to present.
They've been pushing the mower instead of riding it, so that'll slow them down considerably for the couple weeks that they've been mowing. Put them back on the riding tractor, and it should cut the time of actual mowing by half.
Well, do we need to add a couple of hours onto the date, and if we're down the person to get the mowing done Monday and Tuesday, so that we can get the projects done Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday? I mean, we have to have some type of balance here until we're up to full full boat. I mean,
What about the part-time laborer guy?
it's not coming on until at least after school time,
Yeah,
right?
I had one person that I was going to recommend tonight, but we actually received another applicant today. So where I only had one, I figured may as well try to interview the second person, how that goes. So I'll come, they don't get out of school until next week.
Well, we
I
don't
can
meet
have
next
the
week.
park commissioners entertain having Paul Rushlow do Buffalo Park in 132.
Is Highway doing that right now?
Yep.
I'm surprised that we don't have a thing that says Cemetery A takes 2 guys an hour and a half to do. Cemetery B takes 2 hours to do. And if the guys don't do it an hour and a half or 2 hours, then they're not doing their job.
I can do
Dennis
that.
knew that. See, but he didn't have it written
So-
down. But he knew that if they were out there 3.5 hours,
And it's
they
not
were
done.
screwing around.
There's 10 cemeteries.
And, you know, if start making a list and saying, this is how long it takes, and then how many hours.
I can do that. I can come up with that and start tracking it.
This one, we know.
Sure that,
The Dodge family does this.
If there's an efficiency problem, or
Jerry.
Because I really don't see, I know in the past they
keeps coming
typically
in and
use
out.
3 people,
yeah,
but I don't think you really need 3 people to do
you'd
mowing.
be, yes, you'd be bumping into each other.
I'll get on the zero turn and do the ball field.
We have one right over there,
Are
don't
you
we?
certified?
I am, as a matter of fact, just
Certified.
to sell them. Something has to change, and something has to change pretty quickly, because we're into mowing season, and we really need to get these jobs done.
Right.
And we need to get our other projects done, so we need to make some changes.
Crack that whip.
In about a month, the mowing will change as the
It'll be
grass
dry.
goes dormant.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
The grass
Well,
has been growing super fast.
It has. Mowed
Well,
mine
you haven't,
twice a
and wait till
week.
bike week comes.
I haven't
You know
mowed
all
mine
the
yet.
rain we get then.
do the
Yeah,
the employees know
All right, we
U-turns?
really need to just keep
Yes, we
moving
do.
on, because we've really got very abbreviated.
Next,
12 minutes.
So what else do you have for us?
That was all I had.
Okay.
Okay, and you're not ready to recommend the employee
I was
because
going
you're
to do
going
it
to...
tonight, but I figured in light of getting one more application, because we've had so few, may as well give me a chance to look at the other kid and look into that, and then I'll come back with a recommendation next week.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
We're not here next
I'm ready to hire this guy
right.
so you can be out there next week when he
All
gets
right,
out of
then
school.
I had a PAR. I'm perfectly fine. I was totally impressed with the gentleman that I interviewed.
Think he'd do it?
I
he'd be
think he
okay?
would do a great job.
Okay, I vote that I make a motion that we hire that guy.
Do you have the PAR?
That's silly. We should get
I
the
didn't
PAR.
send it to him. I was going to bring it in. I filled it out.
Does Joyce have it?
I didn't send it to
Yeah.
her. I can fill it out real quick.
How much an hour?
$12 an hour for 12 weeks.
What's his first name?
Jack.
Jack. Did not make a motion
Jack
that
who?
the Cormier.
we hire Jack DeCormier at $12 an hour for 12 weeks
Okay.
at the Highway Department,
Do we do a background check?
Pending background check.
pending background check. What's that?
Physical and a drug test. Those are the 3 things that you are.
Gonna cost us $1,000 to employ this kid.
I mean, if you can get that done within 2 weeks, he's at school in 2 weeks, so hopefully that. Yeah, which is similar, right?
Get it moving.
He's out of school next week.
Next week, he's out of school. Just go, do it. All right. Did I have a second on the, you seconded it, right?
Sure, somebody did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will if nobody else did.
All those in favor?
Yes.
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 No. Let the record show, please.
All those opposed? Let the record show. All right,
I think we got a subcontract.
Joyce, get the
Paul Rushlow.
PAR up there.
Get anything to print up here.
Why didn't he apply for that? Why didn't he put in for that? That's my question. Why didn't he put in?
Do you take
I can do
for
that.
your asthma?
I can, yeah.
Oh, God, I've got add their diskettes.
Mine's flow vent.
I tried that, but the Advair works, and it's real expensive
We would
though.
have had
But
And then I have
approach him as a subcontractor.
Montelucas, he's our pill, which I
32
think that's the
Buffalo, or even the cemetery.
Single, was it singular?
Subcontractor that out.
yeah,
We might want to
use
figure that
Singular.
next
Advair
year,
works
because then you're
best
not
for me.
paying
Singular is
zero
right behind it.
taxes.
Now, the last
But it
week or
might
so, I've
be
relied
better
on the
to think
Advair
about
rather
that
than-
this year in
off of
addition
that
to
for
that.
several years
No,
now,
because
it's
now we
just-
got the
Well,
kids'
I
house
was, I
that's
very
mowing.
seldom use it, except bad cold.
I can talk to him to see if it's something we consider doing next year.
I do something for
Because
my sinuses.
Then
too,
you've got the
floaters.
guys doing the projects, the drainage, the things that we haven't done in years and years and years.
I think
That's where the money
Did it
is.
in Samberton and Northfield
Right.
and
10
Modem.
days, I was
I
in
think
bed
it's
for a
much
week.
better if you do it that way, because I
So,
can concentrate
In
on
case you
all.
missed the conversation down this end, was said, asked Catherine to talk to Paul, and maybe next year, we could actually subcontract him to do the ball field, Buffalo, and the mowing, and then the guys do the projects there, the drainage and the sidewalks and all of that that need to be done, and keep that up.
Well, we could look at that next year,
Yep.
but figure out how long it takes to mow.
Depending
What I'll
on,
do-
depending on the year, time of year, Pat, you might ask that person from the public to help out mowing 132.
I heard that.
What I'll do is,
Don't you remember that?
No, I heard it was illegal.
I'll create a list for myself, and I'll have them track their time.
And that way, what does it cost us to mow them? Because how do we subcontract for twice what it costs us? Or
It won't-
maybe it's only half of what it
All
costs
right,
us.
we have about 10 minutes left, 15 minutes left, and we do have a non-public to get through. I'll meet you downstairs. So, actually, not a non-public, attorney-client to get through,
I do
so
have one thing that probably
need to-
can't wait,
Go
and
ahead.
it won't take long.
let's do it.
I sent you guys information concerning the tank repairs for the underground storage tank, with the information that there was a $10,000 fix or $12,000 temporary fix. There is no $12,000 temporary fix, I'm finding out now. The new rules have kicked in, and as soon as we start repairing things, we have to repair it all, and that's in excess of, I believe the number is $110,000, which we do not have. So next week, on June 10th, there'll be a meeting of the tank committee, and right now, our options are to like contract with Irving or one of the other major gas stations, or go to either of the state facilities, which are currently $1 higher than the pump price, and will be for the next 2 years because they just got on a 3-year contract. And I'm suggesting that we find out how much it costs us to close that tank and proceed accordingly.
I'm all with you, Joe. Let's get out of the gas business.
Close it.
I'll make a motion to do so.
At least it'll be close to market.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. What we get at the pump is, we have to make the proper application, but we get the pump price minus all state and federal taxes. So that will bring us, if it's $220 now, it'll bring us to $180 or whatever the total taxes are. But there's a process, and I will have more information coming up.
Okay. Sounds wonderful. All right. Those of you that are watching, then we are not having a meeting on June 9th. We will be attending a business ribbon cutting at the 99 restaurant, and then the following week we'll be here.
And quick question, am I good to advertise my sidewalk RFP?
Can't
We
do it
already
unless you put out an RFP, right?
Okay.
Right, we put it,
And I sent you guys my road RFP too, just a few minutes ago.
Did we go over that?
Joyce, did
In
we
our
go
meeting?
over the sidewalk RFP before?
I don't think
I think
so.
we did. I think we,
No, he sent it to the board.
Right, but I
Didn't we
don't think
go
we
over that?
discussed
You
about it
didn't
in the
discuss
meeting.
You didn't discuss
No.
it.
all right.
It hasn't
So
made a meeting, so.
So hold off on it?
we have to really approve of it.
All right, then,
Do you want to look it over for a couple minutes right now, or no? Yeah.
I can't look over something like that.
We're supposed to leave here in 4
We got
minutes.
a- We've got a
I'll
non-public.
wait. I sent you my road one too, so
All right,
maybe we can get both out at
Homework.
the same time.
okay.
I didn't see this. Yeah, I did see
Well, we're going into non-public, attorney-client right now.
Talk to me.
Here, let me just run down.
I'll do it. I gotta go into the conversation.
Is this only for one? We can all sign this, right?
Am I going?
Yes, please.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
We can all sign it.
Sorry. No. Okay, so, now we go into non-public.
Did you shut it
I
off?
haven't done anything. I didn't
Yeah.
vote to go into non-public.
No, it's attorney-client.
Never mind that. So, we'll be turning off the camera for legal. We are red is on. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to seal the minutes of the non-public part of that session as they pertain to public reputation permanently, or until such time as the matters might be resolved.
That's a second.
Roll call vote?
Yes. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to- Second.
Recess to the Booton
Oh,
Center.
recess to the Booton Center.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Don't forget to end the meeting over there.
We gotta go.
Going to the public hearing.
All right, not too long, we got a meeting.
Yeah.